this is the George Genghis G-Box thing, okay? I put my own little twist on it though. So when I wrap this around me right here, I'm now going to take this, and I'm going to take this, so I have a G-Box right here, and I have a horsewhip running down the center of this. So all of you out there who are struggling with sliding, this is going to be an awesome video for you. So where I'm going to take this is I'm going to run this down the middle part of my spine. So this is going to relate to me as if I had a tailbone right here. So all the players that I see that struggle with sliding, I'm going to explain this to you 101 right here. So hopefully you never, ever, ever struggle with sliding and moving linear off the golf ball to where now we have to move linear again, or we slide off and turn. Like when I slide off it here and I turn, everything moves over the top. So I'm going to turn around so you can see my rear side for a sec. So this is my lead foot, this is my trail foot, okay? So when I see players who slide, the very first thing that happens is they start to take their tailbone and they point it towards their trail heel, and then they start turning here. Well, now all of a sudden I've got my pelvis in front or behind my shoulders, I've got my upper body in front of my lower body, and if I turn, I look like this. And now for me to get back to center, I would have to time this perfectly and then work into rotation and push. Not saying it can't be done. I've seen a lot of players that do it. However, I see more that don't do it than do it. That's why we have percentages. So what I like to see, rather than this pointing towards my trail heel with turn, what I want to see out of this when the spine is neutral here, meaning my pelvis is neutral, I like to turn this towards my trail heel. Then I finish turning, and then I'm going to have a little bit of extending from my lead side to where my pelvis is staying more neutral. Because now when my pelvis is neutral, I can start to dig the lead side of this low and around and extend. And then when you start looking at what this stick's doing, this stick now is moving extremely rotational, just like what we want our golf swing to do, I hope. I hope you understand. Rotation to me is important. I think it's super important. So when I do this right here in the middle of me, so this stick is relating to the middle of me. Once I turn this here, I don't have the ability, if this stays here, I don't have the ability to get in front anymore. I can extend, I can rotate, but I can't go in front until I release where the direction of my sacrum is pointed. Let's call it our lower spine or our tailbone for an easier reference point. So once I turn this to here and this locks in, I can continue to rotate the rib cage. I can continue to retract the shoulder. And this is what this starts to look like. And then I actually like to float my lead side, my lead foot a little bit. So you can see me picking my heel up. And this allows me to keep this more neutral. And then I can work back down and dig this into the ground. And this is one of the biggest things that has helped me in rotating. If you're a person that's obsessed with shallowing the golf club, like a lot of us are out there, it's one of the ways that it'll actually help you do that. I'm telling you, rotation is vital when we start understanding how we move different segments of what the spine's doing. So if you want to take your slide out forever, take this horsewhip that I have on this G-Box, turn it towards your lead heel. Now, does that mean turn it towards my lead heel and shift pressure over here? No, it doesn't. Guys, so like if we wanted to make that a little bit better, what you could then do is take one of these, take a double alignment stick or something like this, put this in the ground right here where this would relate to your head, and you can say, okay, here is what's staying centered feels like. Because the beauty of this right here as well, the beauty of this is now one of the things that I can max out when I turn this direction and I float my lead side a little bit and I get a little bit of push up right here from my lead foot, lead leg, is now I can max out lead side bend to where I'm not losing any height, but I'm able to get into the ground a heck of a lot quicker. For those of us that slide and turn this is why we start to see the shoulder come up this direction. So now all of a sudden, when I'm in a position like this, one, I can't see the golf ball. So for me to refine the golf ball, I come this direction and now I'm over the top. Okay? Over the top, I hope everybody understands this. That's a reaction. It's not, I can guarantee you there's not one person that's on this live right now, if you are struggling with over the top, there's not one time that you've ever in your life probably gone to a driving range and said, God, I can't wait to try and come even steeper into the golf ball and swing more over the top. Because everybody's tried just about everything. The problem is we're only looking at what the arms and the golf club does. The body is what sets up a lot of that stuff. The body is what creates space that allows the arms to come from the inside. The sequence that we unload the spine in allows the arms to stay behind us more. So if I took this and now I changed this to where this is now sticking out right here to where it is perpendicular to what target line is. Now one of the things that we need to talk about is how do we unload the spine in the proper sequence, okay? So once I turn to the top like this, and I've got plenty of lead side bend in. Lead side bend is hugely important because this is what allows me to move the pelvis away from the shoulder right here. So what I like to say with lead side bend, it's like an accordion file. I'm here, I'm pushing it together to where it's getting smaller. So this is lead side bend, and now from here you'll see how much this stick moves. I'm going to turn that. That's as much as I can turn the pelvis. Now the next thing that's going to go, the rib cage is going to start to go, and now because the rib cage is gone, guess what I've just traded? Now I've got trail side bend in here, and then I can finish the job by getting my shoulders more around the corner right there. So understanding movements of what the spine does is one of the biggest things. If you're an online client of mine, I'm really going to make sure that you understand how to do all of these things. So from right here, we turn. The pelvis is turning pretty neutral level. I'm getting lead side bend in. Now from here, I'm going to take this line in, and I'm going to rotate it as far as I can with just my lower spine moving, just the pelvis. Now I'm going to go with the rib cage. Now I've got trail side bend in. Now I'm going to start to move the shoulders so that I can start to fire the arms forward, and lastly then the hands start to move. That is what sequence is right there. I can't stress this type of stuff enough to you. So I hope you found that piece right there helpful. You know, I'm going to show you how I actually hit golf balls with this too. So it's actually a really fun drill to do. So what I'll do right here when I'm practicing, this is to make sure that I am not moving my arms and my hands at a higher rate than what my body is moving. If I move the arms and the hands too quick, I get stuck underneath this right here. When I've got this on, I finish my turn where I'm floating, I've got to get this all the way out of the way. Now my rib cage is going. Now I've got a runway that I can swing my arms down. See, if I'm here, it doesn't make any sense for me to want to swing my arms that way. But if I'm short with my turn and I'm out of balance, those are some of the things that are going to happen. So this is hugely educational. I hope you're finding this very educational into how you move and how you change the spine, the order that the spine loads and unloads in. These are great visual aids. So anybody who's a visual learner, make sure that you're putting yourself in positions to where you're creating visual feedback. All right, let's see if we have any questions.